how many days worn out, I said to you earlier on, and how accurate the sensor is. The accuracy is measured by the MARD. I want to, do you know what MARD is? Mean relative absolute difference, or deviation, which is the measurement of the sensor minus the measurement of the lab glucose as a percentage of the measurement of the lab glucose per cell. Like say, this is really very important for me to go back to you here. So here. So this is how you say whether the sensor is accurate or not. So you say the sensor is measuring glucose 10 millimole, while the lab is 12. There'll be 2 divided by 12, and then multiplied by 100. So the more accurate sensor, would it have a higher ARD or a lower? Lower, exactly. Yeah. So because you want to have the lowest deviation from the lab glucose, right? So the higher this value here, that means the sensor is less accurate. There's some sensors which in the download they will give you this. This is just really for your own information. And as you said, for delivery, they will give you the capture data, how much, right? So let's see here. So this is a case that you see. You know, some of you, the spot on got it right. So what is it here? Yeah. So basically, this is a dawn phenomenon, which is what? Like, what is the significance of the dawn phenomenon? Why is it happening?
Because you can't enough. Insufficient.
Right. What time of the day?
Early morning.
Early morning. So usually, if you see here, there is early morning hypoglycemia, right? But then there is this significant drop, which means what? Which means the patient is actually overcorrecting for this by taking too much aspart when they wake up and take the breakfast. They take too much, and then they drop it down. So basically, this is a dawn phenomenon, which is really followed by very rapid correction here. So what would be the answer for this? Decreasing basal. Yeah. So decreasing basal will be one problem. Sorry, one, or because they are on Lantus and aspart, you can put them on a pump. Sometimes the pump will actually help to level this down because you increase the basal at what time? Before midnight. Okay, to be able to address this. Okay, so and as I said, once you identify the major abnormality, like in this case, I wouldn't really go talking a lot about here because this is the major problem: the hyper in the early hours of the morning and the hypo. So to get marks, I need to quickly say that, and you quickly tell that the patient should be also educated about not to overcorrect, because they're overcorrect, right? That will give you marks. But if you keep talking about other stuff, that will just make you lose marks. And actually, if the session has 4 or 5 cases, you'll be losing marks because you will not have time to finish all the cases. So this is what I'm saying. Try to identify the major abnormality, and then try to be ready to actually discuss the solutions. Once you do that, you definitely pass the case because you reach the latest kind of part of the question, which is discussing options of management and so on, right? For this one, 48 years old female with type 2 diabetes or Lantus and aspart, ischemic heart disease. So what do you see? What is the major problem here? Yeah, there is a very significant, obvious hypoglycemia here. Everything is going down. So unless you solve this problem, don't talk about anything else. And usually hypoglycemia takes precedence when you are really trying to correct things because the patient has already ischemic heart disease. So that's like a hint. Try to not have hypoglycemia with this patient, right? So that means you just ask more questions whether the patient takes like a last, like their dinner at what time, because if the dinner is late and then they get aspart, that can be the cause of this. Or if the dinner is early on, then it will be the basal insulin that need to be reduced. Okay? So always try to be interactive in talking, so that the examiner know that you understand what you're talking about, rather than you don't make one assumption. Just try to say that one or two possibilities. It could be this or this or this, or and so on, right? So case number 3. So this is a spaghetti, yeah? Okay. So if you see here, it's really all over the place, yeah? How many days does the patient wear this for? You count those days. You just count the colors. You train them to count them. And always look at the range first. So if this is the target range, then you'll be able to see, because you want to identify how many days the patient is out of range. I mean, either hyper or hypo. So by easily defining the times rate, you can easily say that this hyperglycemia post breakfast and hyperglycemia post, without any more effort, because it is obvious. You know the range, and you see the lines going up and down. So hypoglycemia overnight, and then hyperglycemia mid-morning, and then hyperglycemia at dinner. So your focus would be really to know basically patient habits, exercise, time of the day, and then you will be suggesting that you can reduce overnight basal and then increase the prandial insulin at lunch and dinner, right? So this is just a major thing that when you talk, definitely you're not wrong, and you are a safe doctor, and the examiner will be compelled to actually to pass you, because this is what he's actually showing about. I'm just gonna, so the liver, as I said to you, I mean, for those who really haven't got the chance to see, it's a freestyle, like a flash glucometer download. It's a tool. It's as I said, you have to mention the date from this date to this date, and then you talk about the median, above range, on target, below range, and then the hypoglycemic events, and time in hypoglycemia. And then here it will tell you what time of the day hypoglycemia is. So here, very clear, yeah? It is morning, fasting hypoglycemia, or morning hypoglycemia, and also some here after maybe lunch. So this is why you need to know if the lunch at 12 o'clock, so this is likely to be after lunch, right? So this, but here the patient, the capture data is only 76%, and as you see it here, it is not 100. So really, there will be some limitation for this data, because the capture data is not 100% or like 90%, right? So by looking at this, you can easily see that the pattern is hypoglycemia, but there is hyperglycemia after breakfast and dinner, and this is why A1C is high. So to address these problems, you need to address first to eliminate the hypoglycemia, and gently to try to address the hypoglycemia at breakfast and lunch by increasing the prandial insulin, and so on, right?
But if the percent below target is only 5.
Yeah, only 5, but still there is significant overnight. You see here there are 14. If you look at 14 hypos, I mean, although the liver has limitations because it overdiagnosed hypoglycemia, right? But with that, like actual level, it will be acceptable that to say that the major problem is fasting hypoglycemia, right? And with that, you can address it by adjusting, because that can sometimes be a barrier to improve the control. Because I mean, the patient will fear to adjust their insulin because of this. And you can tell them that it is not really your fasting that's making the poor control, but it is mainly this peaks here. So these are the things which are likely to contribute to the. But to be able to convince the patient, you have to address this to eliminate fasting hypoglycemia, and at the same time to convince them to address, right? So basically, this is just the last tracing here. Oh yeah, here. They can actually ask you about glucose variability. What do you think about the glucose variability for this patient? It's actually in the tracing. You see? These red dots here, I mean, they tell you about the variability which is here when we measure as the glucose excursion between the 10th and the 90th time. So if you see the weights here, it is getting bigger, yeah? Yes. Like if compared here. And when you see this, it is the variability below the median. So from here going down. And the glucose variability is associated with what? With hypoglycemia, yeah. With the risk of hypoglycemia and macrovascular complications, yeah. So that's why they could ask you about the variability. And do you know other measures of glucose variability? What are they?
It's 5.
So from this, which are the measures of the variability? Standard deviation? Is it one?
I think so.
Yes.
The mean amplitude of glucose excretion or MAGE? As the name implies, it is one, okay? The coefficient of variation? Yes. The median? No. So basically, it may not be like a question exam, but I think just if you start to talk about variability in the previous tracing, and they ask you, how do you measure the variability? I think you need to be prepared to say, okay, well, there are measures, the standard deviation, the coefficient of variation, and that actually can impress. Like say, that can give you the full mark. Because I mean, even if you made a mistake somewhere else, like when you know these kind of things, they will show that really you know more than average, and that can really help. So this is why you practice this with time, because the station was around 7 minutes. Only